Hello everyone, this is Bailu again with another Mulligan guide on my Daretti Turbo list. So without further ado, let's go right into it and play 5 games in a row to see how it goes. So what do we have here? We have interaction, we have rituals, even sandstone needle, but it's too slow. There's no tutor, there's no ramp, no fast mana. Let's get another hand. Oh, many red cards, a tutor, not a good one, not for Snoop. We have goblins, we have reckless, March of Reckless Joy. We can dump many red cards into it to dig into our library. We have Spirit Guide in the land. That's not good enough. I don't keep this hand. Let's get another one. Okay, so first of all we have to go down one card, probably the Underworld Cookbook. We have a wheel and the opportunity to cast it on turn 2. We also have March of Reckless Joy again. We can dump at least one card into it, Warrior's Oath. So we can dig even a little further, empty our hand even more. So let's go. Put the cookbook on bottom and draw a card. So Prospector. So play the needle, put 2 counters on it, and that's it for turn 1. Oh no, not restart. Let's go to next turn. Nice, the Jewel Lotus here. Oh, so let's adjust it here. So our card was Jeweled Lotus. That changes our options. So we play it anyway. Let's see, we can cast Daretti here. Probably not immediately. So let's play the ritual first. Let's play the ritual first. So if I spend the mana on the wheel and march and exile 2 cards, there's a decent chance to get some free mana or a ritual and play it already later on. So what's the correct way? Play March first. Still have 2 mana, 3 mana floating then. So 3 mana floating, exiled 2 means, oh yeah, here we go. That's amazing, exactly what we needed. Yeah, that's what we need. So we cast Opal, we cast LED, and I believe we can cast the wheel now. Yeah, let's do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and Matron. Nice. That's a tutor. We need a tutor. The other cards, Vial and the Lance, and the Pyre are not useful here, so I think it's correct to play it already now. Let's do it. Let's filter some cards. Yeah, it's correct. So we don't need We don't need all those lands. And we don't need Pyre. Oh, wait. We don't need Vial here. We are already on turn 2, so J will, nice. And even more interaction, that's great too. I haven't touched on interaction in my first video, so I try to keep an eye on that in this video. Okay, March, let me check it again. March exiles and lets us cast those. Is it cast or play? Let me check again. It's, yeah, it's play, so we can play and cast the 2 cards next turn. So let's move. Oh, stick a goblin, that's great, that's even more mana. Not that we actually need it. So we don't use J-Will here unless we need it, just to not exile Kiki. We have enough mana. Let's calculate it. 2 from Needle. We need Opal, Metalcraft, so let's cast Grim Monolith first. We need to filter all that colorless mana. We use Sticker Goblin for that. So not J-Will to accidentally exile Kiki. So cast Sticker Goblin. It usually adds 5. That's the most, the highest probability. So let's assume it adds 5. We then have 5 red plus 1 colorless floating around. Add a 7th to cast Matron and find Goblin Recruiter. 7 is enough, assuming that Dockside adds a bunch of treasures, at least 2 or 3, depending on whether we can include Prospector or not. We can't because we exiled it. How comes? Yeah, so let's cast Recruiter and find the rest. Dockside and Snoop, because we have Daretti as our pile breaker. Then find the rest of the combo. We need Torch Courier, correct. Let's get Torch Courier. Let's get Kiki and Fanatic. We don't stack a backup combo here, but you usually should do. That's Cranko and Engineer. When you have, we actually don't need Fanatic here, but I'll tell you when we get to that point. So let's crack the pile. We don't need lands now. We keep Scalp Clamp just in case we get interrupted. So the same applies to Pyre. So let's get rid of the 2 lands here. Draw Dockside, draw Snoop. So Dockside creates 1, 2, 4 treasures. It's always the number of turns plus 1 when I Goldfish. That's not very realistic, but yeah. So cast Snoop, reveal the top, cast Courier, give haste to Snoop. Use Snoop with Kiki's ability, create an infinite amount, infinite amount of tokens. We can do this. It enters untapped. So why do we need this? We need to use the last to copy Goblin Recruiter because we don't have the mana with Prospector's ability. So the last untapped Snoop targets Goblin Recruiter, which then allows us to reorder the top of our library. Therefore, we didn't have to find Fanatic in the first place. So we reorder now. Let's just change the order, put phonetic on top, put our backup combo beneath it. We treat Kiki as our backup combo here now. So with phonetic on top, we can sack the infinite Snoop tokens and ping our opponents to death. Well, that's game one. Oh no, not next turn, next game. First game ended on turn 3. So what do we got here? We got a single land. Let me flip it for you. We got Soul Ring. We have an extra turn spell, but that's not the most interesting. We have Curio and March of Reckless Joy as an outlet. We have Snoop here to bounce Dockside with Curio, so 2 creatures. The only thing we need is to find Dockside here, and that isn't that bad. So let's go. Oh, Faithless Looting. Let's try to dig as fast as possible. We need Soul Ring, we need Sphere, we filter, have one floating around. We use that to cast Faithless Looting. Oh, okay, Infernal Planche isn't very useful here. And Curio, we can cheat on its mana cost later, so let's discard it now. And we need Snoop. We don't have something to sacrifice for Planche. Let's get rid of it. So next turn. There is our tutor. Oh, but it's a slow one because we need to get Curio back and we need to get Flute into our graveyard and then get it back from there to cheat on its mana cost. So we need Daretti, we need 2 activations of it, but we can do that since we have an extra turn spell. So let's see if we can get there. I think we can get there. So we have to cast Daretti now. That's all we do. As our play for turn activated, discard Flute, and yeah, it has to be Search. We need all other 3 cards. Oh, yeah, 2 big fat useless artifacts here. Yeah, that could have been something else, but we got those 2. Okay, and Ritual, that's okay. So let's see, what do? We have to cast Final Fortune, we have to get Citadel Flute back. Oh, and since we have to sacrifice Soul Ring, we have to be careful in our extra turn. So let's do it. Remove 2 counters, sacrifice Soul Ring to return Flute first. And oh, so yeah, let's get Dockside with the floating 2 mana. I just realized maybe we need another activation. Let's see. So how do we do it? We need Dockside creates 4 treasures when we loop it with Snoop. So we can loop the Snoop infinite times, but we don't net mana here. So we need another activation of Flute. And maybe we need to cast Dockside right now to have more mana in our extra turn. Or do we? Yeah, I guess that's how we do it. Turbo Snoop doesn't help. We need a cheaper creature. That's inevitable. We need it. So let's find it. Let's find it. What's the best way to sequence it? It's probably Ritual, Dockside, 1 red floating, get the treasures, 3 plus the number of turns plus 1, so it's 4. We tap 1 to pay for Final Fortune, get our extra turn, get our extra turn. So we're still technically on our turn 3. Our opponent's number of cards hasn't changed, so Dockside still adds only 4. Yeah, so what's the best card to find here? It's probably a goblin that costs 1. And I think it's Bushwhacker here, because Bushwhacker is an outlet too. Yeah, not yet, but it may become an outlet. Yeah, let's get Bushwhacker. It seems the best choice here. So yeah, Bushwhacker is correct. So put it into our hand, and then get Curio. Down tick Daretti. Whoops. Yeah, remove. So where is it? Flute goes to the graveyard. Curio enters the battlefield. So 1 to pay for Bushwhacker, bounce Dockside. Yeah, tap 1, 2 treasures and cast Dockside, bounce Bushwhacker, add treasures. So I'm not doing it since we're infinite here. So we're infinite here. We're infinite here. So do we exile? Do we exile a whole library? We can only cast 2. And we have Bushwhacker here to overrun our opponents. We have Bushwhacker here. Snoop doesn't help at all. There's no way to shuffle. Portal and Auraria are useless. So we have to win on the spot because of Final Fortune's end step trigger. So I think it's correct to exile a bunch of cards, maybe half of our library, not all. Oh no, how can we do it here on screen? It's not possible to exile a number of cards. I don't want to pick them all manually. So let's see, what do we have in our graveyard? Maybe we can mill half of our... Oh, yeah, we still have looting here. So let's flashback it first, see if we find something, and then use the mill X. Yeah, let's do it. So first of all, we use infinite mana to flashback looting, and then, oh yeah, for sure we draw 2. It's crap. We don't need it. So let's mill the top X and exile those from the graveyard. Let's say 40, it's half. Then move all to exile to make it easier for you to follow. So put all those cards back. And let's see what we got here. So nothing of interest. Cranker would be interesting. Mugcatcher, that's an interesting card since Bushwhacker gives haste to it. So we definitely cast Mugcatcher. Mugcatcher, yeah, that's great. And what do we have here? Goblins, goblins, goblins. Fury, yeah, Fury is exactly what we need to clean our opponent's boards and get through with our hasty, huge pond army. So we need to get more creatures on the battlefield. Mugcatcher can do this. Technically it would be enough here, but let's find some with Catcher. Yeah, what do we got left? Let's see. Yeah, do we need it? I mean, technically we're done here, but we can play it to an end here. Portal doesn't help because we lose at the end of turn, so March is still in my hand, but who cares? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's it. So let's go to the next game. This one ended on turn 3. Second game ended on turn 3. Let's go to the third game. Oh, no mana, no mana sources is a lie, but no lands, no ramp, that's unplayable. One land, yeah, that's unplayable too. Oh, so we are down one card here. We have Dockside, we have, yeah, that's just lots of mana and nothing to do with it. Yeah, we don't keep this. Oh, yeah, so we have to go down 2 cards, but we have Mana Crypt, we have Imperial Recruiter, that's all we need. We have 3 ways to crack the pile without the ready. Sphere, so we definitely keep the land, we keep Crypt, we keep Recruiter. We don't need March. Maybe we don't need Bushwhacker, and maybe we don't need Sphere. Skull Clamp seems too good. It seems to be better than, yeah, it's better than Sphere, even though Sphere filters mana. We don't need March. So is it better to keep Sphere played on turn 1? Or is it better to keep Bushwhacker and Skull Clamp? So we have another creature to as fodder for Skull Clamp. It's Imperial Recruiter plus Goblin Recruiter. So over long term, it's better to keep Skull Clamp here and get rid of Sphere. So let's put it on bottom. Is it better? Yeah, it's better. On long term, there's more value in Skull Clamp. And we're already 2 cards behind. There's no way to play it super fast, like Chromatic Sphere on turn 1 means losing mana. No. It doesn't work. We have to get rid of Sphere here. I'm pretty sure it's not only the safe way, but the correct way to play it this way. So let's draw a land, perfect. And so we could either cast Imperial Recruiter on turn 1, get Goblin Recruiter immediately, but that would reveal to our opponents that we are ready to go off. I'd like to chain it all in one turn, even though it's way more expensive, but it's turn 1. We have the opportunity to play Recruiter on turn 2. Yeah, so in a tournament situation, I would try to get the value, and more cards means more opportunities. So let's get rid of Bushwhacker here. Oh, a tapped land and another tutor, but it's fodder for Skullclamp, so let's move to the next turn. Oh, it's getting even more interesting here. It's an extra turn spell. We can pay for it, but we can't. Unfortunate that Sandstone Needle comes in tapped. So we don't need, we what do we do? We have to play it. We have to play Recruiter now and Sandstone Needle and go off turn 3. There's no way we can get an extra turn now and jam it all out in the extra turn. So let's, no, there's no way. No. We have to play it safe. Sandstone Needle tapped. We have Skullclamp as a pile breaker next turn. We don't need Daretti here, which saves us a lot mana, to be honest. And the card quality was high enough here. So let's find Goblin Recruiter. What? Put it in my hand, shuffle and close. And go to next turn. So let's get, do we need a, we don't have to drop a land here. So one colorless floating, play Recruiter. Stack some goblins on top. So the usual suspects, Conspicuous Snoop, and of course Darkside. So then Prospector and Torch Courier. You all know it, Kiki J. And finally, since we are casting from the top with Prospector's Mana Fanatic, let's do it the correct way here. Let's stack a backup combo beneath. We need Krenko and we need Engineer. So technically you can put even more goblins between Krenko and Engineer and Fanatic because you can cast all of them. Bushwhacker, for example, is usually a perfect backup solution, but to be honest, your opponents interact before you get to Fanatic. Most of them do, because once Fanatic is revealed, the game is over. So let's execute this. We pay for Skullclamp, we we kill Recruiter, draw 2 cards, cast Darkside, create treasures, play Snoop. I didn't create 2, so let's pay for Prospector, pay for Courier, play it, sack it to give haste to Snoop, use Kiki's ability with it on itself. Later on, with Infinite Snoops, cast Kiki and ping our opponents to death. So, another game ended on turn 3. let's go ahead and play the fourth game. Yeah, is it the fifth, the fourth? It is the fourth. So, game number 4. Goldfish game number 4. So what do we got here? We've got cost reduction, ether vial, we've got engineer, that's sweet, but yeah, we've got a lot of interaction, too much in my opinion. A soul land, ether vial, no, no, we don't keep this hand. It's not good enough. Oh, what do we have here? Can we play it? It's a lot of mana. It's 1/2 mana crypt. No. It's Amber. Amber is not active. Impulsive Pilferer. It would be great to discard it and encore it. Yeah, why not? So let's do it. We have 4 mana on turn 1 with crypt. Goldhound goes to exile. Pre-game action, draw a card. Play it and cast crypt. Oh, I just realized it's not a crypt, it's a soul ring. So that changes whether this hand is playable or not. So we don't have a turn 1 Daretti. We don't keep this hand. I just overlooked that it's a soul ring, a French soul ring, and not a mana crypt. So this hand is too slow. If you go for a hand with lots of mana, it has to be a turn 1 Daretti to dig deep into your library. So, third hand. Yeah, that's playable. That's a wheel, that's a lotus. We don't need neonate here. So it's not a turn 1 wheel here, but it is a turn 1 wheel. So let's see. So we could either cast Daretti on turn 1 and the wheel on turn 2, or the wheel on turn 1, and I prefer to do so just to mess with my opponent's hands. So yeah, that's probably the correct way to do it. So yeah, put diamond into play, bin a land, exile the spirit guide. We may draw a ritual here. We play like 25. Discard the star and see where it goes. Yeah, that's rituals, but none of them can be played. We have, let's go to next turn here. Oh, okay, that's Gilded Lotus. Could be interesting because we can dump it with Faceless Looting and then cast Ready and return Gilded Lotus immediately. That's a huge amount of colored mana over 2 turns. We have Direfleet Daredevil here, so we have a tutor. Let's assume we are on turn 2. Our opponents are maybe are on turn 1, which means they have cast a Vampiric Tutor, for example. So let's play it as if we could get a Vampiric Tutor here. That would be a way to play it. We then have no way to crack the pile though. Can we we'll play Saga here because we don't need the mana right now, the red mana. So let's play the ritual first. 3 mana floating around. The idea here is to get Daretti, get Direfleet. That's a risky play. Oh, so we bin the 2 big artifacts, and we have a different option here now. We can also play Cranko and Portal. Portal is backbreaking, and only Portal is really backbreaking. We have the mana here, so we have 2 floating around. We have Rite of Flame, that's a third, and a 4th mana with our mountain, so we can cast Cranko and Daretti. The issue here is we have to sack Jeweled Lotus, we have to sack Mox Diamond, we don't have that many permanents, and we don't have that many cards in hand, and Portal is really, really demanding. So we have to calculate here. Cranko. So let's count. We have Daretti, we have Saga, we have the Mountain, we have Portal, we have Daredevil smashing and another Mountain in hand. It's probably not enough. It's pretty sure a turn 3 with Cranko and more cards drawn. So it would be great to play Cranko now, attack next turn, have 2 tokens, have Daretti. Yeah, that's the correct play. I can't calculate it now whether it's enough on turn 2. I guess it's not enough. It's a safe turn 3 win. Let's play it out and see whether it works on turn 2. I don't have the brain power to think it through now, since Portal needs 4 permanents per turn cycle. It probably doesn't work. We can discard 3 cards. Can we get a construct with Saga? I don't think so. So I'm 80% sure it doesn't work on turn 2. I'm very sure the correct play here is Cranko and Daretti, filter 2 cards, the Mountain and Shatterskull smashing, or yeah, probably those 2. Create a construct next turn, attack with Cranko next turn, and return Portal on turn 3. That's the way it should be played, but let's maybe just play it through. Let's play it through and see whether we can do it on turn 2 or not. I mean, it's a safe turn 3 win, so we can just simulate it. Yeah, I'm not getting smarter here, so let's do it. So cast Cranko, crack this, Lotus, cast Daretti, remove, oops, what was that? I resetted it. Anyway, let's get Portal, get Daretti down to 1. We also have to get rid of Diamond. Yeah, we have to get rid of Diamond. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, So yeah, now that I see how few cards we have in hand on the battlefield, I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. So let's see. One, my end step, opponent one, opponent two, opponent three. It's turn three. I don't draw a card here, so it's Krenko who attacks with 2 power. Yeah, I actually can restart it here. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work, but let's try. 2 goblins. We can uptick Daretti or not, it doesn't matter. We won. My opponent 1, opponent 2, opponent 3. Well, opponent, okay, opponent 3. So attack on turn 4. Again, we don't draw. 3 power is not enough, so we would lose either Kranko or Portal, which means, yeah, it doesn't work on turn 2, but it would have worked on turn 3. So you don't need a brain in goblin size to calculate Portal properly. So yeah, we count this as another turn 3 win and go to the next game. Was it turn? Yeah, this was the 4th game. It ended again on turn 3. So let's go. 5th and last match. Gamble. Yeah, Gamble is a lovely card. It really displays Red's color identity. Super fast, super risky. I love it. Even though I have the strong feeling that in real life I'm always the one who discards what I searched for. So we have interaction here with the downside that if we want to interact, we have to give up on our tutor. We have turn 1 land drop, Opal, it's not active. Turn 2 Grim Monolith, Opal still not active. No Metalcraft. Daretti comes down earliest on turn 3. We could spend Gamble to find Mana Crypt, but no, that's not what we want to do here. Let's get a new hand. This is unplayable. Yes, it's unplayable. This oh, what's that? This is a stupid hand. Yeah, but it's very likely turn 3 Snoop. Yeah, so turn 1 we don't need Courier here, we just need Snoop. So turn 1 do nothing, turn 2 cast Snoop, turn 3 get lucky with Gamble, find Recruiter, cast it, Kiki on top, win the game. Well, we could even include Prospector. Yeah, I mean, that's the way. It's stupid, it's straightforward. Let's put a land on bottom and go for it. Okay, we don't need this, but what we want to do is very clear, so we don't need this either. So turn 2, cast Snoop. Turn 3, let's see. Gamble, find Recruiter. Why it doesn't work? So okay, shuffle and close. Here's Recruiter. Yeah, we just go for it. So Oh, no, we have to discard at random, so place it anywhere. Discard random. Ooh, lucky us. So great for our from a video here. So we don't lose. We had an 80% chance to win here. So luckily, the probabilities are in our favor. So find Kiki, find Fnatic, that would be the minimum pile here. Just Kiki would be the minimum here because Snoop is not summoning sick here. But we want to play it with Prospector. So Prospector gives us the opportunity to play even more cards from top, so we can, for example, put Krenko and Engineer on bottom. Let's do this here for the sake of the video. Engineer has a shuffle effect, so Engineer and Krenko would be on bottom. Then get all the useful goblins, Bushwhacker, Welder, maybe every card that says Goblin in its name. So let's get some here. Sticker Goblin, Lackey, that's probably enough. We don't get Matron because it has a shuffle effect written in its text. So stack it correctly. The shuffle effect on bottom, Krenko, then the rest of the crew, Fnatic, Krenko, and Prospector. So we can activate Prospector's ability with Snoop, sack Goblin Recruiter, which makes Prospector basically free. That's great because it's an auto-include this way. Use Kiki Jiki on the Snoop without summoning sickness. Get a bunch of goblins, sack them to Prospector's ability, cast Kiki, and then ping our opponents to death. So, great. 5 games in a row, 5 games that ended on turn 3. Yeah, what can I say? I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. It was a fun, and see you again next time. Bye.